say at this very hour, the convener of the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room, Mrs. Ene Obi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
It's been quite a day. Tell us, what is going through your mind right now?
Hard enough on both sides, outside of INEC, what we have seen before this election, and the promises that we got of the standards that were established for this election. And so we had a pre-election assessment, the assessment of the environment, which we presented on Wednesday,
Yes.
just before Wednesday of the election. And we raised some concerns, we raised some hotspots, where there might be, problems. And after raising all of that, we also got the assurances of INEC, because from the off-cycle election, we are coming into a period when we should be showcasing some of the things, the gains, we made from the off-cycle election, especially the issue of the beavers. We are now in a technology age, and we got the assurance. We had some confusion because we knew that there can be a problem in terms of posting, uploading of the results, onto the IS portal. We complained of that, and we were assured that results will be uploaded. We had that. When we had the second election of the Anambra APC,
Oh, sure.
all of them, by 9 p.m., 10 p.m., you have about 90-95% of
Results.
the results already uploaded. I say, how can we be at the seat of the FCT, where the commission is, and beavers are not working? And we were told that, some people who were trained, they were changed that morning, there was confusion and all. We said, we shouldn't be having all these excuses. But at the end of the day, we had a national election where we needed to showcase the technology. And then they can't upload into the INEC portal, the area portal. If you cannot upload, if you have confusion, machines don't man themselves. So it's important for you to communicate to the people. You need to tell Nigerians what is happening, what is on your mind. You are a human being.
Yeah.
You can propose, but God disposes. And so if you are having a confusion, because we need to learn, we are going to another election at the end of next week.
Yeah.
Next weekend we are going into the governorship election. Are we going to be having excuses like this? We don't, you see, we are, for the civil society situation room, we are worried about the process. You can give us results, you can have winners, but it's not about winners, it's about the process of getting that result. And so it's important for you to communicate with Nigerians, for you to tell Nigerians what they're doing, so that we can say we're working along with you in the process of declaring, having the credibility. We have reports, because when we opened the situation room, on the day of the election, we were being inundated with calls, phone calls, phones just kept going on. And we're happy that we established the situation room, that we had a lot of volunteers in the situation room that were receiving calls from Nigerians. Most of the pools, only about 30% of the pools opened at the record time of 8:30. But as the day was going by, more were opening, we had more openings, but we had as at 2:30, as at 2:30 in the morning, 2:30 p.m., that is the ending of polls, many because of logistics, many had not, many INEC officials had not reached their destination. And so these are some of the issues that we are to deal with. It's confusion, it was excitement, many Nigerians came out to vote. We are even amazed about the resilience of Nigerians. How they could just go up there and put themselves out, and they are resilient, given the issue of the cash and the issue of the economy and all of that.
Great. Thank you very much, Ma, for throwing more lights on these issues. Lots of matters arising. We saw today that the room was filled with a lot of people. Well, at the end of the day, some parties stormed out. How did it make you people? How did it make the CSO and other communities feel?
No, this is we're in a democracy. And when you're talking, I'm happy that at least we have the opportunity. We had the opportunity for people to try their best to do what they can. We had the opportunity for them to air their voice. The parties were here, and the INEC asked if they had an opinion, and they were able to air their opinion. I think that is a good thing. The fact they walked out in protest, and I'm saying the standards were established. We came into this election that results will be uploaded, results will be captured, and uploaded. But if you are not uploading the result, have you told people the reasons why? You are not talking to anybody. You are not talking to Nigerians. You are not telling us exactly what is happening. And I think this is very, very important, for us to address issues. It's better to come on time and let people know, communicate with people, because the machines don't man themselves. So it's people that are manning the machines. INEC will also come out to tell us if something is happening. You need to be able to communicate. If you're starting, there can be sabotage. There can be hacking of the server itself, of the portal and so on. These things are possible. And that's why when we had so much confidence going into the election, I said, there are some things that are man-made. There are challenges. So if you are encountering challenges, tell people. One of the things that I thought should have been done, we received reports from several places of people who were not able to cast their votes, of so many polling units that were not able to cast their vote. You have 176,606 polling units that were supposed to be in this election. How many were you able to reach? How many were you not able to reach? Because they were still complaining of votes as at close of the poll, on the day of the election. So we should have a statistics. There should be an audit to bring out. So many polling units were destroyed. Those ones that were destroyed, we are not having the numbers. Why don't you give us the numbers about the people that, looking at the incidents?
Of course, I mean the amongst the matters arising to people complained about logistics. There were complaints out there. Citizens talked about yes being disenfranchised. I mean, some people stayed at the polling unit till almost morning, just to make sure that they cast their votes. I mean, in all this, if there's a gap in there are gaps identified, and also in the process of the collation too, there are still gaps in identified tied to communication and letting the citizens know what exactly is happening. What do you think could have done, or what do you think INET had done differently in this election then?
Hmm. I thought we were coming from an election where there should be improvement. What could they have done differently? One of the things that we looked at was the dispatch of materials, the sensitive materials from the central bank. This did not happen until Friday. That's a failure right there. What was the connection? Because the agencies of government, at the peace signing accord, we called on the president. You need to hold your agencies accountable. One agency's run goes on the other. The police ironically did very well, at least to a limit. They did the kind of decorum that they had. They were friendly, they were just out there, they were doing their work in control of some of the things. But the polling units where we had disruptions, where we had destructions,
the police just stood by.
What did they do? And I think that network, there is a gap. There is a gap. We know that in the polling unit you are not supposed to carry arms, but you have the arms people at another perimeter. Do they have walkie-talkies? Do they have the equipment to be able to get in, to do the call? That's why they are there, and there are other people. But we are told that they don't even have those equipments and all of that. And so there are lots and lots of gaps. We need to have the incident. The police should come clear. In this number of polling units, we have these issues. What is the presence of the police supposed to mean? And then you're having politicians also going to polling environments and harassing people, and there are police that are guiding those people. these politicians, and these are Nigerians. It's my money and your money that is used in paying them. So what will be the result of all of this? And so it's a lot of confusion.
Yeah, before we let you go, I was listening to a gentleman speak about some of these challenges that elections always have in Nigeria, perennial problems, when it comes to uh, logistics. And he said, look, the problems of Nigerian elections are tied to our development
Mm.
or underdevelopment. Transport systems, questionable; road networks, questionable; the waterways, also questionable; and so much more. That we will always have this challenge every 4 years. How do you react to that? How do you react to that?
No, I think for this particular election right now, there's a lot of disappointment. Disappointment because one has, we committed time, money, and energy, to this election. And so when you are not getting the results, you begin to question yourself, what could you have done better? I thought we prepared for this election. And so anybody who contributed to any sabotage of any form should be punished.
Right.
And they should be held accountable. And that's why I'm worried that the INEC chairman is not talking. Why did we have to move our sensitive material on
Friday.
on Friday? It should have been moved. Everybody will raise the alarm already that if you have not moved materials by Thursday, that's failure.
But how soon would you have reasonably expected to have moved those materials? Because
that's on Thursday. You move on Thursday to the racks. And then you go to the Ratex. By Friday you should be at the Ratex. For you to know that because some of the distances you have to is like 100 kilometers or 200 kilometers from one end to the other in terms of locations, and then you have to be able to distribute the materials to arrange yourself. Some people even sleep, very close to the polling units, and then they move. And so we need accountability from all of the channels, and I hope that some people will be fired, but not talking to us is not helping. The INEC officials should be held responsible. When we had that disaster at the FCT level, we called on them that you have no choice, but to tell. We went directly. Then it was Chidi that was the director of ICT. We said it is you. We are not holding INEC chairman, but you as the officer, the director who is in charge, you are the one. And so we are going to be calling names. We'll be naming names and what have you.
Calling them out.
We have to call them out. I'm really, it's a disappointing time, but we appeal for calm.
Absolutely.
We appeal for calm. Nigerians have worked on, for this, and we commend Nigerians for what they have been able to do, for their resilience, for staying almost overnight, through the time, I love being in Nigeria, but we can do better. From saying that it's a development problem, these are human-made problems. Corruption is not a development problem. It's a problem of human beings, and we need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to improve on it.
Thank you very much, Madam Ene Obi. She is the convener of the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room. She has been speaking to us about the elections and matters arising. I am Shego Juma, and with me has been Katlon Dasat, who has also been lending her voice to this important conversation. We're going to take a break now, and then we'll return very soon. I will still expecting, of course, the results from more states. It's going to be an exercise that will go long into the night, and tomorrow morning we continue again. Stay with us.